Hello and welcome to dividing by two-digit divisors. I'm going to show you a couple different ways, and I would definitely go back and rework anything or rewind, pause as you need to go. So two-digit divisors, so if I had 775 divided by 23, this here again is my divisor. This is my dividend. I'm showing you this a little bit differently than I showed you dividend. And I showed you last time. And then whatever I got as my answer would be my quotient. Okay? So the dividend is the one that goes inside the house, 775. And we're going to divide by 23. The divisor goes outside the house. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the partial quotient way first. Partial quotient, or it's also called the big 7 like I showed you in the last video. So I'm going to make this go down, make it look like a 7. And then I'm going to think, okay, 23, how many groups of 23 can I get out of 775? Well, I know that 10 times 23 would equal 230. So I can at least get 10 groups of 23. Subtract 5 is 4, 545. Well, I can get another group of 10 out of that. So 230, because 10 times 23 equals 230, like I showed up here. Subtract. And I get 315. And I can do another group of 10 out of that. Subtract. In this case, I need to do some regrouping. Scooch that up. Okay, so let's make that a 2. That makes us 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. And 285. Oh, no. Oops. 2 minus 2 is 0. So scratch that out. So it's 85. Now, how many groups of 23 can I get out of the 85? Okay. And you can just make a guess here of how many you think it is. If you want to do some trial and error and do some scratch work on the side, you can do that. So you can do 2 times 23, and maybe, or you might have to write it as this, 2 times 23, and I get 46. Or you're like, maybe I can go higher. It's up to you if you're not sure. Let's use that. Let's just say I get 2 groups of 23. 2 times 23 is 46, like my scratch work shows. Let's do this, regroup. Now 15 minus 6 is 9. 7 minus 3 is 39. And I say, oh, I can get one more group of 23 out of that. 1 times 23 is 23. And then I got 16 left over as my remainder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of this up. So 10, 20, 30, 32, 33. So that's 33 with the remainder of 16 as my answer. You can check this by multiplying. I'm not going to go through all the steps right now, but you would do 23 times 33. Do all your work and add it. And then when you get that answer, you need to add your remainder. Okay? And that, I definitely want you to go through and check by multiplying. All right. That's one way to do this problem. Now, you might have noticed right away that you didn't have to do 10, 10, and 10. You might have said, well, I'm going to try 20 right off, and that's fine. You could have done 20 times 23 and see what it got you. And then you would have, it would have been shorter to subtract here. Okay? Let's try another one. I'm going to have to turn my page. Okay? Let's take this problem here. 1,450, and we're going to divide by 32. Okay, so I'm still going to do the partial quotient way, and then we'll go in the other way. So I'm going to make this a big 7. And I'm going to show you this a little bit shorter. And so, well, I know I can get more than 10 groups, because 10 times this, 10 times 32 would equal 320. And I'm sure I can get more than that. So let's go, let's just say 30. Let's try that, 30. 30 groups of 32. So if I did 30 times 32, let's see, that would be 6. That would be 960. So 30 times 32 is 960. And I subtract. And there we go. That's 9. And then 13 minus 9 is 490. Well, I can get another group of 10 out of that. It's 320 because 10 times 32 is 320. Subtract 170. Now how many groups of 32 can I get out? And it actually ends up being 5. But if you weren't sure, you could try one at a time if you needed to. Put 5 times 32. Or do some scratch work to guess, some brain work over here. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 1, I have 160. And I get a remainder of 10, which is smaller, so there's no more groups of 32 I can get out of this because I only have 10 left over. I can't get another group of 32 out of this. So next, we're going to add all this up. 30 plus 10 is 40, plus 5. This all equals 45 when you add all that up. So the answer is 45, and I get a remainder of 10. Now I'm going to show you this the other way without the partial quotients. And some of you will probably prefer this method. Like I said, it doesn't matter which method you use as long as you understand what you're doing. So let's do the same problem so you can compare. Okay, so 1,450, we're going to divide by 32. Now, if I have a group of 1,000, the ones there, I cannot get a group, I can't make that 1,000 into 32 right there. I can't, like they say, like a one big block. I'm not going to break that up yet. So I can't get anything there. I'm going to put a 0. And I do want to hold, I want to put it in the right place value. This is important for when we get to decimals, because when we don't see the decimal, it goes at the end. And our decimal goes at the end of our answer, goes straight up. And when we divide by decimals, this is going to be important. Okay, if I had 14, can I get a group of 32 out of 14? No. Okay, so nothing goes there. 145, can I get a group of 32 out of that? Definitely. Okay, so if you weren't sure, I mean, obviously we have our work up here that can kind of help us with that, but we could try some trial and error. So I could start with 5 times 32, see what that gets, because it's right in the middle, and go, oh, that's 160. That's too big. Let me go down one. So 4 times 32. Do some brain work over here on the side. Do the scratch work. And I get 128. That's pretty good. So that's my D. I'm going to divide. That goes on the top, 4. My M, multiply. 4 times 32. Since my scratch work is already done over here for me, all I have to do is copy it down. Done. Okay, next, subtract, S. So let's go ahead and subtract this. 5 minus 8 you can't do. Can't subtract that, so I have to regroup. This makes that 3. This makes this 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0, so I don't need to write that down. And now I can, and remember, the next one is to check this. Check C. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? 17 is smaller than 32, so I'm okay. Remember, if it was 32, then I would need to erase and redo this again because something's wrong. If it's bigger than 32, I would need to erase and redo this again because something's wrong. Okay, so we're going to bring down as my next one. Bring down my 0, and I have 170. Well, look at my scratch work already that I've done. So what do you think it's going to be? So sometimes if you've already done scratch work, especially if your work is neat, you don't have to redo it again and again and again. Go look at your scratch work. So I'm going to, because I see 32 times 5 is 160, I'm going to use the 5. So that's my divide step. Now I'm going to multiply. 5 times 32, scratch work's done for me. Easy. Just copy it down. Then I'm going to subtract. That's my S step. Scooch this up. And then I would have 10 left over. Check. Is it smaller than what I'm dividing by? It is. Okay, bring down. Is there anything to bring down? Nope, nothing to bring down because I haven't taught you how to do that yet. So the next thing is to bring it up, and it's a remainder of 10. Not 0.10, it's a remainder of 10. Okay, check it by multiplying. 45 times 32. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8, plus that 1 is 9. Cross out what I'm done with. Put my 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Add it all together. 0, 14, carry the 1, 4. Not done. That's not equal to what I had here. I need to add my remainder in. Remember, we subtract to get our remainder, so we're checking, we add our remainder back in, and you can see it checks out. It's what I started with. Okay, I know I zoomed through that pretty fast, but again, rewind, re-listen to it, slow it down, pause it between every little step that I say, and that might be help. You can do it either way that you want. In either, you can see the relationship between these. That would be a great thing so you can see that. This, if you can do it this way, obviously that's going to be a shorter way. But if you don't understand that, the partial quotient way is perfectly okay too. Okay? Let's do some problems. These are for you to try. Try me. Okay? I want you to do 648 divide by 18 and 858 divide by 57. Okay, try me number 1. Try me number 2. If you pause it and show your work and then check your number, I'll show you number 1 here so you can see right away if you're getting it. I might just pause it and show my work, and then you can look at each step by itself. I'll color code it because I'm running out of time here. Okay, I hope you paused it and showed your work and tried this. I'm going to show you this answer done 2 different ways. So we have, as you can see, I did 64 divided by 18 because, there we go, I can't do 6, so I go to 64. 3 times 18 is 54, and you see I did some scratch work. I tried 3, I said, well, what if it's 4? 4 is too big, so it has to be 3. Do the brain work on the side, and then you can see I subtracted it. 3 times 18 is 54. I got 10 left over. It's smaller than 18, so I'm good to go ahead. I brought down my 8. I again did some scratch work at this point to figure out that 6. And I skipped the 5 and I went to 6. I figured if 6 is too high, then I knew I could go back to the 5. So that I did that, and I actually got it right on. Yay! And then 6 goes on top. 6 times 18 is 108, and I have nothing left over. And don't forget to check by multiplying. Okay? Down here with the partial products, I was like, well, what if I got 20 groups of 18? So 2 times 18 is 36, so 20 times 18 would be 360. That's where I got that. So 20 times 18 is 360. I subtracted. I got 288. And I was like, let me get another group of 10 out of that. Okay, 10 groups of 18 out of that. 10 times 18 is 180. That's what that is. Subtract it. I get 108. Then I was like, well, just for my scratch work above. If not, I could try 3. You know, as many. I can break this down as much as I need to. Until I had what, you know, my remainder was smaller than what I was dividing by. Your remainder has to be smaller than what you're dividing by. And then I add all this up, and I would get 36, because I add that up. Okay, so 36 goes on top, and my remainder is 0. Remainder 0, which I don't even need to write that. Again, check it by multiplying. Okay. Try that second problem if you haven't already. Try it. I'm not going to do that. We'll talk about that one in class. And remember to check by multiplying. Check by multiplying. Okay? You need to do that. And we'll talk about that in class. And we will definitely be practicing this lots in class. So be ready. Know your facts. Practice your facts. If you're having trouble with your multiplication facts, it's probably slowing you down on the division. So practice, 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 and practice your facts. And guess what? Practice your facts some more. And practice your facts some more. Goodbye.